All right, hello, stressed and underdressed. Always like a rhyming team name. So this is Thalia, William, Hannah, and Emily. I should make this assignment early in the semester so that I can get to know faces with names just so much more because what I've gotten to know about your personalities through our textual interactions are pretty much borne out by your the way you sort of carry yourselves, your general the words comportment. Very very nice to kind of meet you again. So I think I really enjoyed big parts of this assignment, guys. Your expression of it. Whoever did the editing, the intro, and the sort of the conclusion, the references. I thought that was very effective. It's a nice way to begin. I did get a kind of a vibe that this was going to be like a movie, because you had like the sort of the very big dramatic music and the Star Wars text scroll kind of flying up. To see a format that is more you know sort of news based, like a news magazine, I guess is how I would take this. Not so much a news broadcast, but like a 2020 or 60 minutes, something like that. So that was a little bit jarring, but it's not a fatal error by any means. I thought generally, again, the beginning and the ending had the nicest editing, and I did like those little, I don't know, would we call those like interstitials? Those little, chunks of primary research data, the survey material. So there were, it was clear that you put some thought into the editing of your video, which is great. Um, what else? I thought your secondary sources were nice, and thank you so much for not just putting a block quote on a slide and presenting it. You actually made me listen to you and engage with you a little bit, and I think that goes a long way. That's a useful strategy given the parameters of this assignment. So way to go on that. It was nice to kind of see your sources. I did have to pause at the end to kind of look at your sources to see where they came from. So maybe those scrolled just a little too fast, but I like the general idea behind it. So okay, so those are things I thought were quite successful. What things maybe could have been improved a little bit? Well, I feel like I'm saying this a lot today, but your subject matter is a bit broad. Mental health is, the focus on younger people is good, but there's so many ways to define sort of mental health or mental wellness that I would appreciate it maybe a little more of like a zeroing in on like a particular aspect of mental health and its sort of expressions technologically. So that would have been nicer if it was if your CMP was a little more focused on that particular aspect. I also would have liked a little bit of images. I did like it was very nice to see you all, reading from your studios or on location. But maybe some images overlaid with that. I mean, or anything really other than just there were times where it felt like it was just sort of individually recorded videos kind of stitched together. And I did appreciate the little transitional parts, but and I think those are Thalia, right? Good job, Thalia. Those are fine, but when you're reading about you're reading off of a script about a certain aspect of mental health, whatever, it's always a good idea to have some sort of image interacting with your viewer's mind at that time, because sort of speaking and listening is basically one sort of mode, and so a multimodal is meant to kind of hit you in several different ways. So would have appreciated a little more of that, but them's relatively small potatoes. I'm going to say that overall the results of your efforts are right here, A, B, and that's a very good grade. It's a grade I don't get to give out all that often for these assignments. So thank you for that. I will be reading your reflections first chance I get. I have to go through, I want to grade all of the CMPs first so I can kind of see where they shake in terms of grades, where they shake out. And then I go and I read the reflections to kind of look under the hood to see who did what and how things really went during the creation of it. So I'll be curious to see what your experiences are, because you're a very diverse group. You're from all over the place. And yeah, you guys have been very fun to work with. Emily, only one semester for you, but still very much fun working with you. And the other three of you, I'd say especially Hannah and William, you guys have done so at a great distance and without much in school support. And I don't forget those things when I think about how you've done in my class. Okay, so I definitely thank you for your efforts, and I thank all of you for a great semester and a great school year. And I hope you're having a great day. Thanks again for your hard work on the CMP.